I'd eat it.
Alright, so here we are for the second time in Hookshot's history, driving straight across the state of Pennsylvania from one side to the other. Solo run this time, just me and my thoughts. This is the worst beef jerky I've ever had in my entire life. Texas! And I am bound for the town of Erie. Now I am doing something crazy. I am doing something that anglers know not to do. I am chasing a bite. You know when your buddy calls you and he's like, oh dude, the hatch was epic yesterday, you gotta get here tomorrow. And you get there and there's nothing going on. It's fishing taboo, man. However, when Ross Robertson calls you and tells you to ditch everything, another chain motel, and get on the road to Erie, PA, another Hookshot's caliber room along the interstate, I listen, because the man is the undisputed king of Lake Erie walleyes.
And I guide, you know, I fish tournaments, I write for some magazines, and basically just a big fish head. I love big walleyes and I go where they go. You know, Lake Erie is one of those things, and I'm definitely not a biologist, but we've got a lot of food here. You got a lot of movement, which is why we're down here in Pennsylvania right now. They're eating those smelt. I live in the extreme western end in Toledo. We jumped in the truck, I drove 5 hours down here because this is where the big dogs are at.
So the next morning we meet up with Ross's buddy Bob Henton. It's his boat we're gonna fish on. He's an Erie local. This is his turf. And he was kind of quiet at first. Now my initial impressions just looking at Bob is, this is a guy I would not cross for the world. How many people's asses have you whipped in barroom brawls in your lifetime?
Probably 15.
Of course, Ross and Bob have known each other for a long time. They've been fishing tournaments together for years, so they have a slightly different relationship.
Look at those shoes, Crockett. Cue the Miami Vice theme song. You know, my buddy Bob is a fish catching son of a gun. I mean, we don't hang around with him for his looks, let's be honest.
Ross is an okay guy.
So I should kick this whole thing off by saying that I do not really fish for walleye that much. These guys have lines going everywhere. There are rods over my head, there are rods at my feet.
The fish we're looking for today, in the 90 to 100 foot of water, and they're 40 to 60 foot down.
You know, there's a lot of lures you can use, but the big three are spoon, spinners, and cranks. You know, if you can go 2 miles an hour and catch a fish, you're gonna cover twice as much water. And that's why we started out, because it was like the theme was needle in a haystack.
I'm watching these guys work going, man, this is really an art form. We're running dipsy divers, we're running planer boards. I can't wait to see how we handle this once there's a fish on the line.
Oh yeah, baby daddy.
Oh wow, right back here.
Oh yeah, baby!
You know, for months I've been watching video of Ross, looking at pictures of all these big fish, and here's the moment of truth.
Donkey, donkey.
And once that fish got to the surface, I took a look at it and I'm like, these dudes are no joke. Dude, sick walleye.
Donkey, fish number 1, baby. We were pulling a stick bait on the dipsy, and I mean, it hammered it. The fish was a little over 30 inches. It's a double digit, you know, pushing 11 pounds.
Just for the record, I'm the one that noticed that hookup. These guys were not paying attention at all. Now, most of the trolling that I do is in saltwater, okay? So when a rod gets hit by a tuna or something like that, you know it. Now for this kind of trolling, you really need to have eyes almost in the back of your head, because there is no clicker on, there is no drag stream. These rods just kind of slowly bend over. Next rod goes down, I grab it. And right away there's this nasty head shake. I'm like, all right, this is a good fish.
No rod pumping, just slow, steady reel. You're saltwater free.
I've been scolded for rod pumping, but I don't know. This is not really my thing. I'm afraid to call it too big.
When you can't turn the reel handle and you still got 150 feet of line out, it's probably a big dog. Yeah! I was like, wow, that's a giant. That's probably gonna be Joe's biggest fish.
That is the biggest walleye I've ever caught. So we're talking probably around 30 inches and 11 pounds. That is worth a 7-hour drive right there.
You know, when you come to Pennsylvania, this is what you catch.
Everyone is everywhere.
So we hit a few fish in the morning.
Yeah, I can hold this one with one hand. This is Bob's fish.
No comment.
And then it was time to go on the prow. So that's the thing about Ross and Bob. They are not quantity guys.
I don't care about catching 30 little weezers. We want to catch a gorilla.
I'll burn a whole tank of gas in a day looking for them.
Got 100 feet of line out and I can't turn the handle.
These guys are constantly changing out spinner blades, okay? They'll bring in a pink, swap it out for 2 chartreuse.
You'd be amazed at how many times switching from a size 6 to a size 5. I mean, it doubles your catch rate.
Even though the fish were fewer and further between,
When we seen them on the screen, we typically caught them.
This thing is thumping and bumping. This is on a double willow.
oh, there he is. There it is.
Made a little adjustment, pulled a double willow, and then pulled an 8-pounder.